Hi guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January 19th, 2016. This is Jennifer. First of all, I'm going to go back in time and show you something I made last week. Hey guys, we are back in last week's video, kind of, because it is still Tuesday the 12th here, and it's much later in the day than when I recorded last week. Today, whatever. And I had a project to show you that I just finished, and I'm probably going to mail this tomorrow because it's a little bit overdue. When I saw my parents at Christmas, I found out that the Harry Potter pillowcase I had made my mom 4 or 5 years ago was basically falling apart, so I promised to make her a new one, and I just did that just now. The fabric's been sitting on my table. I started cleaning up my sewing room a little bit today and realized that the fabric was still on my table, so I got the pillowcase made, and I just wanted to show it to you guys before I mailed it. It looks like this. This is the new Harry Potter flannel that you can get from Joann's here in the United States. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. If you guys know that it is, just leave it in the comments so that other people will know too. This is a Moda marble, and then this is just a red that I had in my stash. So I sort of went with a Gryffindor-ish color scheme with the super, super soft Harry Potter flannel. So this is actually a flannel. I don't know if I said that. I'm going to go ahead and wash this, and I'm going to mail it off. And you won't see it again. So I just wanted to share it today, and I will go back to the future now. So I did get that in the mail last week, and my mom does have it, so I'm glad that I did a little recording so that I could show you guys that pillowcase. Every time I make a pillowcase, it makes me want to make a million more pillowcases. I will put links to both of my pillowcase tutorials in the description. I have a hot dog pillowcase tutorial that is all photos that has a little flap around the under the cuff, and then I have one that's like the one I just showed you that is a video tutorial that has the band around it where that is actually flat and part of the pillowcase cuff, and it doesn't stick out or anything. So I'll put both of those links in the description. While we're on pillowcases, I want to show you a pillow which Amber, HP5 Freak, sent to me. She made me a Doctor Who cushion, and this has actually been living on my sofa for the last few days. Just a sweet little cushion that adds a little fandom, and this is my favorite of all the Doctor Who prints that they've come out with, which is the Van Gogh. I love it. So thank you, Amber, for sharing this with me. I mentioned to you guys last week that I was working on a memorial stitch for David Bowie that's going to post, the pattern will post on Fandom and Stitches, and I will also have it on Sewhooked. I think that's going to go up Saturday. I still need to talk to the other designers a little bit, but it's probably going to be Saturday. If it isn't this Saturday, it will be the following Saturday. We do have quite a few designs that are being tested right now. I ended up doing 2 things, and I did get them both stitched last week. The first one I stitched Tuesday, Wednesday, and then after the Harry Potter fandom was rocked by finding out that Alan Rickman had passed away, I had already designed the other one, and I stitched that entire thing in a day. We did do a little Alan Rickman tribute on fandomandstitches.com, so if you didn't see that, you can scroll back a couple of posts and see that. It's been a heck of a January. So anyway, I want to share my David Bowie stitches with you now. So the first one that I did was this one, which I'm going to try to get close so you can see. And it says, I watch the ripples change their size but never leave the stream. This is a line from Changes, which is probably my favorite David Bowie song, which is why I chose this. It's mostly backstitch. I've got a running stitch here, and then I did this line is stem stitch because I wanted it to stand out just a little bit. The second stitch I did was from Space Oddity, and this is the one I stitched the entire thing the day that I found out that Alan Rickman had passed away. This is all backstitched except for, and some French knots. So this says, the stars look very different today. And not only does this apply for David Bowie, but it really applies for a lot of our celebrities that have been passing away. Yesterday, I found out Glenn Fry had passed away, and I'm also a big Eagles fan, so it's just like one thing after another just lately. Anyway, so I did this one. These 2 David Bowie stitches will be on Fandom and Stitches no later than January 30th, but if you want them sooner, let me know and I'll just send you the link, but I should have them. I may just go ahead and put them on Sewhooked so that they're available, and then they will be on Fandom and Stitches later this month. This is week 2 for the X-Files Stitch Along. It's quilt and stitch along, so this was a pieced block, and this one, which is Mulder and Scully, was a stitched block. So anyway, week 2, if you want to see what this design is going to look like, look at the end of my video. I have a little banner for the X-Files stitch along, and the quilt that we are making is in the little banner. We have changed angle slightly so I can show you where I've moved my to-do list. So this is my design wall. Normally I'm facing you guys this way. And this is my door to my room where I hang all of my completed quilt tops, things that need borders or just need to be quilted. So I've put my list right next to that door so that when I look at this list, I'm also looking at the door. So I hung this here. I actually had to cut a little hole in it to put my light switch through, but that's okay. Also, since it's on a wall this year, last year I had it hanging over basically over a curtain, and so it was hard to mark. Since it's on a wall this year, that'll make it a lot easier. So I'm very excited about that. I haven't done anything on this to-do list other than move it to a more permanent position, but at least I've done that. On that note, I talked to Sarah Spence on Saturday. Sarah was the long arm quilter who quilted my sister's Project of Doom that I made last year, the one with the lavender background. And she's also a Linus volunteer, which is how I know Sarah. And I asked her if she would be interested in quilting the Project of Doom quilt tops that I made from the blocks donated from the Facebook group, and she said yes. So I'm going to get those together with quilt backs, and I will pass those on to her, and she will quilt those on her long arm machine for me, and then I will put the binding on them, and those will be done for Linus sometime in the spring. And I also want to let you guys know that she is in the Sewhooked Facebook group. She's doing My Favorite Things with us, and she is going to be the official long arm quilter of My Favorite Things. So she will be quilting My Favorite Things, my Favorite Things quilt at the end of this year. And if you guys have quilt tops that you need quilted and you don't know a long arm quilter, I am right now recommending her to you. She's a fabulous long arm quilter. She is local. I actually know her. Like, she's a Linus volunteer, so I know her, and I will recommend her to you. And she is willing to work with you. Like, if you're not local and you want to mail something to her, and she's willing to work that out with you. And if you just want to email her for an estimate, you can do that too. So I will put her website information in the description, and if you want to contact her, just go there and you can find her email address and stuff. So anyway, one of the things that I'm realizing is I make quilt tops faster than I can quilt them. So I know long arm quilters, and I think it's probably time for me to divide my workload a little bit and take advantage of the fact that I know these really awesome people who, like, this is her job in addition to other things that she does. And she will do my Linus stuff for Linus, but, you know, I will pass some work her way too, which is good for both of us because I get a finished quilt and she gets some long arm work. So don't forget, tomorrow is week 3 in the X-Files quilt and stitch along. Don't forget to share your pictures with my Flickr group for Sewhooked if you're working on stuff for My Favorite Things. Don't forget to share pictures with the Fandom and Stitches Flickr group if you're working with patterns from Fandom and Stitches. Both of those websites, we give you guys prizes for sharing. Also, if you are on the ttmt.livejournal.com group, don't forget to share your video there for a chance to win prizes. I believe Susie Quilts is our giveaway person this time, and she has a whole slew of things that you get to pick from. I think that's it. I feel like I have something else to tell you, but I don't know what it is. So if it pops up, I will just put it below the video. You guys have a wonderful week. I'd love to see your video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. I remembered what it was. Fandom and Stitches t-shirts at Zazzle.com. You can get to that link from Fandom and Stitches, and I will put a link in the description for our Zazzle shop. This is pretty much how I support the website, how I pay for our storage fees, and I pay for postage and all of that. So if you guys want a t-shirt, fandomandstitches.com t-shirts.